This is Ryan Abraham, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com instant analysis here on Dado Field. I think it's day 11, practice number 13 for the Trojans, but the magic number, I guess, would be 19, Dan, today.
I think that's where you were going with that that numbers progression. Yeah, that was the number of players physically unable to perform today. So this was a hard one, and again, Lane is pretty upbeat and pretty encouraged that they somehow got through it. We were just talking to Cody Kessler. I said, did you realize, how many guys weren't going to be here today? And he said, oh yeah. He said, I started counting up and I realized we've only got 2 wide receivers and 1 tight end. Holy crap! Now Xavier Grimmel was at class, so then he comes back in and he did make a really nice play on a touchdown there in the end where they put him in as a wide receiver and caught the fade in the red zone offense. But yeah, this was one of those days they had to just kind of battle through. Lane says they got plenty enough time to get everybody back. But this was one of those days where not only do you hit the wall, I think the wall hits you. This was, they were, really. I mean, there were times that we were talking to the 2 quarterbacks. They said, you realize there were plays out there where neither one of you had a single scholarship player as a receiver on a play, unless you count the, tailback or the fullback. And they said, they said it was great. It was great for those kids. Robbie Colans ends the day with a, great touchdown reception, and everybody's excited. And so kind of a neat day in some ways, kind of a difficult day in others.
It was shorter than a normal practice, and we wrapped up a little bit early. You talked about walk-ons making plays. I did give some opportunities to other guys. We saw Max Brown actually get some first-team reps earlier on in practice, and I didn't really notice until the end. Like, wow, there was only 2 scholarship receivers. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, honestly, we didn't ask Lane about that. There were a lot of other things to talk about. I have no idea what they were doing in the first 11-on-11 session, where it was mostly shotgun, and Max was in there, with the ones going against the ones. Not sure. Don't have a clue.
It gave him some opportunities. I know he hasn't really run with the ones at all, and he still does some stuff with the third team over there. And we got to see it towards the end. We saw yesterday, they did on Monday, some goal line stuff. This was more red zone starting from the 25, but the offense scored every time. I know John Baxter was happy and all the coaches were screaming.
Right, and now I think because guys made plays, like a Robbie Colans, like a Xavier Grimmel, who gets here late and they put him in as a wide receiver and he makes a play, and the quarterbacks, except for each of them, turned it over on the first possession on the last 11-on-11, and both of them, got pulled out. But other than that, Lane is very pleased that they're taking care of the ball, even, in situations where there really are, probably none of the people that you're going to be seeing doing a lot of stuff in Hawaii even were on the field. Although, Lane's saying, without the other 2 tight ends to start with, Jalen Fitzpatrick's getting a tremendous amount of work, and he said he's really, he's benefiting from it. He said, I think the other 2 guys are NFL tight ends, but Jalen's here every day and battling and getting better. And so if they can make it work that way, where the guys who are getting the chances are really improving, then that's a good thing.
Lane was also asked about the offensive line, and really he stepped up and said the left side of the line. He was very specific about the left side of the line, and that's where you're talking about a new guy, Chad Wheeler, just coming in there left tackle for the first time.
Well, both of them, long and strong and young. I think he likes it. You got Chad Wheeler and Max Turk next to one another, and kind of mirror images a little bit of one another, 6'6", 6'7". I just talked to Chad. He's up to 293 now. Wow. So he's not losing weight. And I think the family brought a care package of food that he was carrying out of here. So he's staying with it. But he said he didn't believe Lane. He said, I think I got a lot of work to do. I don't think I'm doing that well. But Lane is, and you couldn't tell it from here, that they're not doing well. I mean, now I said, Chad, being in the first team and getting all the opportunities you're getting, what have you learned? He said, those defensive ends are really fast. So that's kind of his take. He's not real impressed with himself, but Lane surely is.
All right, well, that wraps up a really short practice here, Tuesday practice on Dado Field. For Dan Weber, this is Ryan Abraham. Check out USCFootball.com for more.